Welcome to Panda Head Studios. Today we're talking about Jujutsu Kaisen, Episode 20, Nonstandard.
This episode is so good and so much fun. It picks up right where the last one left off. The only slight variation is that we get a little bit of backstory on Toto. And it's not a whole lot. It doesn't delve into it like the way it does with other characters. All we really get out of it is, because his big question that he asks everyone is, what type of girl do you like? Like, we get where that comes from.
Jennifer Lawrence.
But we get where that question comes from, and I think that's cool. But then goes right back into the fight, and it's Toto and Itadori fighting Hanami, and Toto going, I have a plan. Itadori, I need you to do just one thing. Trust me, and don't stop attacking.
I just love the way his powers work, because first, he just does...
His power's called Boogie Woogie, which lets him change places with people. And they use this during the fight the whole time, and it is so well done. I cannot praise this enough.
I absolutely love the synchronicity they had, and just how you could see all the action even though they were popping in and out of place.
Yeah.
There was no flash frames where it was just pure white. There was no, like, face shots of them going or any of that stuff. I mean, there was reaction shots of them getting punched and stuff, but you could feel and see all the impact and every movement, and when they would, like, shift places, there would be a wider shot.
Yeah.
And what I like, beautiful.
So what I really love with the reactions and everything, and the way everything is moving, is it's when they're swapping places, it's not solely reaction shots to cover up their swapping. Like, you are getting wide shots where they're swapping places, because there's other shows where they've had people be able to teleport, where to get around, like, making that animation, they zoom in on the person so the person can, the other entity or whatever enemy can teleport to somewhere else, and then they do the wide shot. This one, it's most of it is wide shots for that, and it's so much. It's so good. It's so good. I'm sorry, I can't like. I love how this was animated, and just like you said, the synchronicity in their fighting, and Itadori does exactly what Toto says. He trusts him. He's just like, okay, you told me not to just keep going. Cool, I'm just going to keep punching things.
And doing awesome kicks.
And like the very first, or not the very first, but one of the first punches he goes to throw, he ends up punching Toto. Because Hanami's like, oh, Toto's a problem, let me throw him into a spike wall. And Toto's like, nope, I'm swapping places with you. And Itadori's like,
oh. Yeah, because he thought he killed Toto, and Toto switches places was so awesome. And then there's another really awesome part. Toto comes up, switches places with Itadori, and Itadori punches Hanami, and then Toto comes up with an axe kick, and his foot's all the way up, and he just crushes Hanami's shoulder with it, and it looks so great. You just see the impact and how it really affects Hanami. I love that shot too, because they let the whole scene go out. I love that Hanami is figuring everything out, and he starts to like actually start landing hits, and he's trading blows with Itadori, and they're both just getting real bloody and nasty.
Yeah, because and Hanami actually makes mention of it at one point, because we get Hanami's internal thoughts, is the reason Toto's ability Boogie Woogie is so problematic is, especially with those two, is because they have such a build difference. Toto's this big hulking dude that, you know, very tall, very muscular, very, like, if you're looking at him and trying to fight him, and then all of a sudden the person's half their size, both height-wise and width-wise.
Oh, and fighting style.
Yeah, and their fighting style.
It's like fighting a heavyweight boxer and a flyweight boxer, and they're switching places.
All the time. And I want to say, like, my favorite thing about the switching places is there's a point where Itadori starts doing a barrage of black flashes against Hanami, and Toto, throughout at the very start of the fight and even throughout it sort of mentioned how his power works, and it's very reminiscent of the way Nanami fought and talked about his powers, in the fact that he outright tells Hanami that his power, Boogie Woogie, lets him swap places with people, and one of the requirement for it to work is he has to clap his hand. And there's a point in this where the Black Flash barrages are going, and we see Itadori land the first one, then the second one, then the third one, and he's powered up to do the fourth one. And you see Toto slide in behind Hanami and do his clap, and then they don't swap places. And Itadori gets his fourth one off, and it's great because I love Toto's line because he's like, just because I clap doesn't mean I'm activating my powers. And now he's throwing off Hanami again. Because that's what he was waiting for Hanami to get used to things in order to trip him up. Because now he can just clap whenever he wants.
Yeah.
He can clap to swap places, or he can clap just to clap. And it's going to always throw off Hanami because there's no rhythm to that anymore. There's a rhythm when you're trying to synchronize your hits.
Well, also, mostly it feels like it's throwing Hanami off because he's having to overanalyze what is coming at me. And even then, he still eventually starts to adapt. And then Toto does one of my favorite uses of his powers. And he reveals that he can switch with anything with a certain level of cursed energy.
Come on, man.
And that was one of the coolest parts. He switches with the 3-section staff, and it's so awesome. Because he just hammers Hanami in the face with it, and he's even surprised how tough Hanami is.
Yeah, because not only is he using the 3-section staff, he's also putting his own cursed energy into it on top of that when he whacks Hanami, and Hanami still is standing after that. And then we see Hanami start draining the life force out of the ground into its black arm, because we find out that the way Hanami's black arm works is it can draw life from the earth to generate cursed energy, but the thing is it doesn't go into Hanami, it goes into this like flower bud that's there, and he's charging up some sort of ability and is about to release his domain, and then the veil just shatters, and you see Satoru just floating in the air, blindfold off, grinning. He's like which causes Hanami to stop using its powers, and the other villains we see, like the other cursed, the unknown cursed users, like take pause, which is really funny because the one that's fighting Gakuganji is just, he's immediately like, coat rack!
And I love what you see. All it is Yamamoto sitting there playing his guitar, and he's doing these awesome riffs, and the guy with the cleavers is just kind of standing there and just staring, like he's just watching him play guitar. So it's like 30 minutes. It's been 30 minutes only.
Yeah, I mean, we do get to see the fact that like Gakuganji is pushing him away, because there is a point where he tries to rush in, and then Gakuganji does like a thing, but yeah. Ultimately, he just stood there and watched him play for half an hour.
And then he says he's going to turn him into a wallet so he can smell his old man.
Yeah. But we go back to Satoru standing in the air, like surveilling everything, and he takes a look, trying to figure out, who should he help, what's going on, what's the situation, and he looks over and he sees Itadori, and he sees Itadori like overflowing with cursed energy now. He's like, oh, he's gotten a lot stronger, and then he sees that Toto's there, and he's like, I knew Toto would be a good match, so they'll be fine. He's like, then what should I do?
And then he gets this great grin on his face because he's just going to go match with Yamamoto. And he just shows up right by the cleaver guy, and he's going to do like a curse technique to him, or use curse power, and then
Gakuganji is like, don't kill him.
And then he just twists his arm, the
arms and legs
of the guy with the cleavers, because they never said his name.
No, they never said his name. It's just the guy with it's not a cleaver, it's a hatchet.
Oh, it's a hatchet? Oh, okay. I thought it was big cleavers.
No, it's a hatchet.
Okay. And what, he just mutilates that guy?
He mutilates him like that. and him and Gakuganji have a little bit of back and forth, very briefly. And then he's sort of thinking, Satoru's thinking about the situation. He's like, and
he realized Hanami's
about to run away, but Hanami's also a decent distance away from Toto and Itadori.
Really fast.
And so he turns around and goes to use an ability that I've been waiting for because it's so cool. And he activates his reversal red and his amplification blue, combines them into hollow purple, and shoots it in the direction of Hanami. Mind you, he doesn't leave Gakuganji's side for this. He doesn't teleport over there to use it. No, he's several, like, because they show a wide shot of, like, the destructive path that Hollow Purple takes. And it's a good few hundred feet away, at least.
It creates, like, a giant trench. They don't even show the bottom.
Yeah, I know.
But it looks really deep.
and it's unclear whether Hanami got exercised or not. Like, they do state the fact that they don't know.
Well, that's the best part is Toto at first tells Itoro's about to attack Hanami when Hanami's running away. And Toto's like, no, you'll get caught in that. Don't move. And what shows that Toto is a lot stronger and more aware, even then they've already shown how powerful Toto is. Because he knew that Sasha was going to shoot that at him. He was.
Well, I think it's because Toto can
sense
cursed energy, whereas Itadori can't yet.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, Itadori doesn't know how to consciously do it.
Yeah.
He just knows how to focus on what's in front of him.
Yeah. And then the episode ends, and it's one of the first times I haven't been really mad because it's a satisfying ending.
It is a satisfying ending, and it gives us a brief glimpse of what's going to happen, like what I suspect is going to start going forward, because we get a brief scene where Satoru realizes that Mahito broke into wherever the Sukuna fingers are kept and has taken them all. So you get a little brief thing about that at the very end. So I'm actually okay with the way this ended. I really wish the next episode was... I wish all the episodes were out so I could just keep watching it, because it's a great show, and you should do that. Go watch everything.
Yes. And they also introduce a new human who uses a sword, and then he runs away when the dome breaks, so you don't really get to see anything about him. You don't get to know his name or nothing. He's a blonde dude with a stupid thing.
Well, he's friends with the Hatchet dude.
Yeah.
Which actually, you know what? He does mention the Hatchet guy's name, and I just can't remember it.
Oh, wow, yeah, you're right.
He made the sword that the blonde-haired dude wears.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And he does not, he clearly is, super misogynist, where he hates women because they don't like him. I love, there's a small part where Nobara and Mai show up to help Utahime, who was attacked by the blonde-haired guy with the katana. Nobara starts to attack him psychologically to try and upset him by basically calling out how he has some issue with women and women don't like him. And Mai is just such a pain in the ass that she makes fun of Nobara.
I know.
Rather than being working with her, which is actually really great of showing why Mai has no progress is because she doesn't work with anyone or like anyone.
She doesn't want to.
And I just love how they're showing, where they're showing the growth and how Nobara, because of the training she's gone through, she's understanding work as a team, and even Toto understands that. But that's why he's one of the few ones that can make a
But the thing is Toto has always understood it. Toto just prefers working alone, I think.
Well, because most of those people are too weak to keep up with him.
Yeah.
And they're more in danger with what he's doing than anything else. Yeah. It's just I love how all the characters have a lot of flavor, and they really have that difference, and that really illustrates it very well. Because even when Satoru just has that grin on his face, when he realized, I'm just gonna go mess with Yamamoto.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's Gakuganji, I know, but I'm gonna call him Yamamoto.
Oh, he did it right this time.
He looks just like him, except for he has
piercings,
and he's the exact same kind of. That's one thing I just want to make a brief mention of. Utahime and Gakuganji remind me so much of Unohana. Yeah, they remind me so much of Unohana and Yamamoto in their character, how they behave, how you know that both of them are unbelievably powerful, but they both have these character flaws. To where Unohana used to be the Kenpachi, so she's a badass.
Yeah.
Or she's really powerful. And the Gakuganji, the Yamamoto character, he's just representative of the old world, the way things used to be, and he wants nothing to do with any kind of change because he thinks that this works absolutely. If it ain't broken, don't fix it type thing.
Even though it is broke, it has been consistently proven in this that it's broke.
Well, yeah, especially since all of his students are clearly inferior. All of the students except for Toto are inferior to the Tokyo school when it's not, and the Kyoto school, all their students are way more powerful. It's just the way they're using their powers isn't as smart, and that's what's so great about Satoru is he has them all work with it, and Panda's awesome. Panda's great. And that's what I thought when they did the Toto switch. I thought Panda was going to show up, and there were all three of them were going to go.
Oh, that'd have been awesome.
For a minute, I got a little excited, and I was going to have to pause for a really great fat session because of how excited I was for that. Just the thought of that.
Yeah.
Of
Toto, Panda, and Itadori fighting Hanami. That was so good.
Oh wait,
They did show off the fact that Panda saving people. So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
But that's why when he did. Oh, I thought he was coming back.
Yeah.
Like, Toto did the Forrest Gump thing. He brought all the people to the shore. And now he's going back into the war zone, even though he's all like they're all beat up and stuff. And that's just this episode's great. Watch this show. Why aren't you watching the show? But just watch the show.
Watch it.
Awesome.
It's so good. It's so much fun.
And I'll say that every single one for every episode. This is awesome.
Yep. Have a good one.
Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching.
Hey, man. Something doesn't feel right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So if you enjoyed that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And let us know what you thought of this episode.
If you're interested in joining us gaming, follow us on Twitch. And for updates, please check out Twitter.